Long way, get this shit a long way, long way, long way, hit it long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 get shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a gotta get the shit long finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand, she be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way, but I gotta get the shit a long way, tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a phone way. My name is Tori, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. You gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. What's up, Into Me? Down South Yellow. Welcome. Move from the studio. Hello, everyone. My name is LJ Young, and I'm the founder of SMD. And I'm here to share my gift. And my gift is that I have discovered that capitalism is psychological. All right. And I'm just here to share what I say. I just want you guys to be clear. When you guys hear me say that, I want you to clearly understand that everything I'm saying, I can prove with a calculator. Okay. So if I can prove it with a calculator and you still believe the opposite, that means by default, you're wrong. That means that's psychological, right? Like if when you understand capitalism is psychological, you'll fully understand that a mortgage can't buy a house. That's debt. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. That's mathematically impossible. Because the only way to buy a house is in cash. So if you believe you can buy a house with a mortgage, when knowing that is not mathematically true, that's a psychological problem because you're not believing the calculator. So that means something is psychologically wrong with you. All right. Like, let me give you an example, because especially if you're new to the channel, right? If you believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage, because I know when you guys hear me say that, you go, hey, wait a minute, what do you mean a mortgage can't buy a house? Millions of people do it. Or, I'm sure that's what goes through your brain. Okay. So you open up the calculator, you put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, meaning you probably have to call the bank and say, hey, how much do I have left to pay on this house. You get that balance so you can get the true balance, because I want you to get a true reality of what I'm about to show you. All right. So you put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, hit equal. And then the calculator is going to clearly show you a large negative number. Now you got to think to yourself, when you're looking at that negative number, you got to say to yourself, what kind of house can I buy with that amount of money? Right. And you clearly see it's a large negative number. And you say, well, the calculator says, well, no house, because you can't. This is negative, right? But yet you believe you're a homeowner. So you believe something that's clearly not mathematically true. That's a psychological problem, okay? Because by default, you're wrong. But if you disagree with the calculator, that's your problem, which is a psychological problem, hence psychological capitalism, right? But the wonderful thing about capitalism, psychological capitalism, it's all a choice. Nobody's holding you back. Nobody's stopping you from becoming wealthy. The rich aren't evil. They're not. they're not. They're not hoarding all the money, having you guys have less, and all this stuff. That's all just stuff they say in the debt matrix. Just jibber jabber. First, you got to own yourself. To ever understand that capitalism is psychological, step one: own yourself. That's the first thing you have to do. To even ever understand a word that I'm telling you today, you have to own yourself. And you're probably thinking, well, what do you mean by own yourself, right? Log into your credit report, okay? Go past the credit score, go down within the credit report. All those businesses in there, they all own a piece of you. Until you pay them back their money, they own you. So what you don't understand is credit reports are owner ledgers. That's how they keep track of debt slaves, people that owe them money. Credit scores are reward points for staying in debt or being bad, whatever. Good, bad credit score, that means you don't pay their money back on time. Good credit score means you do pay back the bank's money on time. It doesn't matter if you got a high credit score or low credit score, you're still debt slaves. It doesn't matter. You're still owned. You're just a debt slave with a high credit score. That's it. You're still a debt slave. Until you change all that to zero, which I did. This is why I'm speaking to you right now. Until I got to zero, I didn't know that. I did not know that, because I've never in my life owned myself, ever. I thought you had to be rich to have no debt. No, you just pay your debt off and then you have no debt. So that's what I did. And voila, I'm like, whoa. Now, mind you, it didn't come to me immediately when I got to zero, like, hey, holy crap, capitalism is psychological. No, it didn't work that way. First, I had to get to zero and kind of realize, wow, this kind of feels good. You got to get adjusted, right? If it came to me all at once, it'd be a problem with my brain trying to comprehend it. So it comes in pieces. It broke the debt matrix down in pieces. First, got out of debt. Wow, okay. Then when you get out of debt, you're at a job, and then you really start to feel what a job really is. You start to feel trapped for some unknown reason. These are things I couldn't explain at the time, but when I was going to work as a debt-free person, I felt trapped in the building. I'm like, damn, I got to be here 8 hours. I couldn't explain that, so I had to quit. Once I got out of that, because you don't realize when you have no debt, your money stacks pretty damn fast. You just don't know that, right? Well, after I quit my job, I did nothing for a year. I did nothing for an absolute year. I had to go through the phase of, oh my God, my resume is going to have a large gap on it, and then people are going to be wondering, how come you haven't working for how come you haven't had a job for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? You start worrying about all that stupid nonsense, and then after about month 8, 9, 10, you start getting used to that. You're like, oh wow, that's really not a big deal. No, it's not. Then you start realizing all the days, you start forgetting the time of day, and then the days of the week start all blending in, because it don't matter. They only matter when you had a job and working and had debt. Because when you pay off all your debt, you own the time in your life. So That the clock you see on the wall, that's a man-made device. That's for you, debt slaves. That's for you. Because I always wondered why I started forgetting the time of the day and the days of the week. I was like, is this Tuesday or Saturday? I don't even know. And then I had to break the 40-hour work week program. When you're in it, you don't understand that that is a program. That's a little, and I remember being in the debt matrix. Every now and then I would ask myself, who came up with the 40-hour work week? Yeah, I used to say that to myself too. You know who did? The wealthy people. They came up with that for you, debt slaves. You. I had to break all that. All that had to be broke. Then yeah, I had to lose friends. You know, you got to go through all that because they're not going to understand it. It don't matter because the more you understand, it has to be that way. It has to be that way. The majority must not know that they're not free. They don't know that. But listen, the wonderful thing about it, all they got to do is pick up a calculator and clearly see they're not free. Hell, all I got to do is just log into their credit report. When that big number pops up in your face, just put a negative in front of it and say that is how much it's worth. That's how much I'm worth. That's my net worth. You're gonna see that large negative number, and then you're gonna say to yourself, I thought I had equity in my house. No, you can't have equity in something that you didn't have the money to buy. That's a psychological problem. The calculator says you don't have equity. You didn't have the money to buy the house. You can't have equity in something you didn't have the money to buy. And then all of a sudden they came to this. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. It comes together in pieces, right? And you're like, oh, wait a minute, this was all the choice. Yeah. It's all a choice. Which side of it do you want to be on? That's it. Do you want to be on the free side or the debt matrix side? That's totally up to you. Trust the calculator or you don't. That's it. Hey, but everybody around me is all these people have buying houses. I mean, there's millions and trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt, and pretty much all of them believe they're homeowners. So what? So is it mathematically true of all those millions of people? No. Then who cares what they think? That's all part of it. That's part of it. People must believe they're homeowners with mortgages, or the housing market wouldn't exist because it couldn't exist. Debt slaves. I understand the rules. I understand why it has to be that way and stuff like. Hey, I don't care. I was born into this. First, you gotta first. You born into something that's been here probably 2 centuries before you were born. You think you're gonna know something right? No, you're not. No, you're not. I guarantee you don't. I guarantee you. Capitalism is all over the world. What do you think the percentage of those people that understand that capitalism is psychological? I bet you can count on your hand. I'm one of them. And then once you really understand that no currency exists for debt slaves, nothing. Mm. Once you understand that part, and then you turn around and look at everything that's being done to debt slaves, you guys, man, cryptocurrency, lottery, uh, equity in houses, business owners believe in your. When you turn around, man, I'm telling you, and it counts on what age you turn around at. Okay, the younger the better. I hope you the younger the better. Your life will be unlike anybody's damn near on earth. You go to any country around the world, hey, as long as they're capitalists, That's all you need to know, because if capitalism is there, psychological capitalism is there too, because it's all the same, all of it. The majority must be in debt, not know it. No matter the structure. Hey, who cares? You go over there, they say, hey, this is the paper we use here. Like when you come to the US says, hey, these green pieces of paper we use here. Okay, cool. All right, cool. You go to Canada, it says, hey, we use multiple colored different paper and we put the queen on it and we do this. Hey, whatever. Okay, that's the paper I use. I don't really care what, because you guys don't understand that currency is irrelevant to you. It's like, I mean, excuse me, it's all psychological to you. None of it's real for you. You go there, this country says, hey, these are our financial rules. Okay, cool, understood. That's okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Capitalism, yeah, okay, cool, that's all I need to know. Okay, and then you come in, hire some people that already know the structure. I would go say like this. Say like I went to another country. I already know if it's capitalist, I already know the majority must be in debt, period. Okay, that's right off the bat. I just need to know their structure on how they accomplish that. Okay, there's always a way that they're doing to make it do that, right? And so I would go over there, hire somebody that who is personally debt free, that understands the taxes and the bloggity blah blah. I'll just hire those people because all I need to know is this: do you own yourself? Yeah, then you understand how it works, right? Cool. All right, you're hired. It's a whole different language. It's a and it's and I can prove it all with math, with a calculator, right? And you're probably thinking, well, if you just know all that, why aren't they trying to stop you and put a sock in your mouth? And because it's not like that. That's all part of the program too. Like somebody's trying to stop you from doing something. You know the people that are trying to stop you? Other debt slaves that don't want you to achieve more than them. Those are only when you cross over here. Let me explain something to you. When you cross over here, we all want to help you succeed. We all want, hey, if I'm making $10 million a year, hell yeah, if I can help you make $30 million a year, I'm gonna help you. I'm not blocking though. I'm telling you, the only type of people that do that are other debt slaves like you. Now, I come here on Fridays sometimes just to, because I know when people come here, they hear me and they don't really understand what I'm talking about, uh, or believe what I'm saying, even though everything I'm saying is mathematically true. That's called a glitch in the debt matrix. You're upset. You might hear what I'm saying, but you're like, damn, but his math is right, right? So you're gonna keep coming back to that. Okay, that's called a glitch in the debt matrix. Okay, and one day you're just gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and believe the calculator. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. And then you're going to step into what I call a different financial dimension. That's going to be the first step. You're going to be like, damn, a credit report is an owner ledger. You're going to have to accept that. Because, right, you've been probably taught all your life credit is this and that, and you can't do shit without it, and can't buy a house, car, can't live, can't eat, can't have sex, can't have children. You can't do nothing without credit, right? And then when you come on over to the different financial dimension, you're gonna be like, damn, a credit report is an owner's ledger. That's it. That's it. That's how they keep track of debt slaves. So when you hear somebody bragging on their credit score, you know what they're telling you? Hey, I'm a debt slave with a high credit score. Those are those people that's what they're telling you. You don't know that though. They don't know that. You guys don't know. Like when somebody's bragging about their high credit score, right? Since you guys are all debt slaves, you don't know to ask, hey, can we see your whole entire credit report? You guys don't know to ask that question. You just see that high credit score and assume that person has money, they're good with money, and that doesn't mean anything. A credit score means nothing. You guys don't understand that credit is a tool. It's like a hammer. It's like a lawnmower. It's like a wrench. Hey, I want to rent a car. I pull out my credit card wrench and hand it to the person. and then I get to rent a car. That's how I did it. It makes things simpler. Anything I can do that causes me to use less of the time of my life to do, that's the direction I'm going. So a credit card is that, like when I first saw somebody trying to rent a car using a debit card, and then I saw the rental car place calling the bank, verify funds in, that's too much time. No, because when you own yourself, you understand the value of the time in your life. So anything that cuts down time, it's worth the money. Everything's worth the money. I promise you, it's worth it. Everything. I said, nope, not doing that. I'm going to use this wrench and then I'm going to be in and out. That's what I do. Those are private businesses. You guys are using their services. That's it. There's nothing, and they're charging. It's business. It's nothing more. I mean, it's nothing wrong with Visa and MasterCard, what they're doing. That's all business. Who cares what they're doing? So what? I don't care about their rules and how they do their interest rates, and they raise them and lower them and this and that. And who cares what they, hey, whatever. What's up, Kang? Cupcake says, I got debt in my 20s thinking I needed a degree to work a 40,000 job at the hospital, dropped out of college at 27 before debt grew and was debt free at 39. Awesome. Yeah, I remember, I'm so glad I listened to my intuition when I was 18, right? Because I remember at that age, fresh out of high school, people around you will make you feel like you are just a loser if you don't go straight to college right out of high school, right? Just and thank God I've always just listened to myself and my intuition. I was like, no, I don't even know what I want to be or what I want to go to school for. Well, I'm just going to just do it because everybody's trying to force me. So I didn't do it. I just went and got me a regular job. That's all I did. Went and got me a regular job and just was doing my thing, just working. And then as I got older, and I said, okay, if I'm gonna make, and this is a more mature decision. I said, well, if I want to make more than what I'm making at the grocery store, I'm gonna have to get a degree to do that. And that's what I said to myself. And so got a degree into computer electronics and blah, 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 and got a computer and my bachelor's. And then I worked my way up to making six figures. That's all I did. But at that time when I went to college, which was around early 30s, I think I started at 33. I said to myself, I said, and this is what I literally said to myself. I said, they're not going anywhere. So I'm going to pursue my degree in computer engineering. That's what I said to myself. And that was the right decision because I knew they weren't going nowhere anytime soon. They never will be. So I had to really understand the language. I remember back then when I started getting into computers, I remember my friends, particular friends at the time, they were like, "What you getting into computers for, man? That's for white people." I was like, "What? White people?" I thought to myself, "Do you even know what you're saying?" That's what I said to myself. I'm like, "What? No, no." I said, and I put that out of my mind. And guess what I did? Went into the computers and got into virtualization. That shit connected like a jigsaw puzzle for me, man. That's when virtualization was just starting. When hard drive turned into a virtual drive on a computer, I was like, "What?" Back then, if you wanted a bigger hard drive, you had to pull out one and buy another one, put it in. Virtualization, I just had to expand it with a click of a button. Hey, I turned 40 gigs into 80 gigs, just like that. Click, click, apply, and done. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, I got to know that. I got to know what they're doing with that. Okay. And then I got deep into that, made my six figures. That was it. And for me, and here's another thing, because I didn't realize I didn't really understand that only 5.4% of people in the US make six figures. I did not know that. I just recently learned that fact. So me achieving six figures it was most definitely a goal, because when you're in a debt matrix, that's why they always talk about six figures, like if you're making six figures, you are the catch, you are the prize, you are the this and that. So I said, okay, you start putting it in I put that in my mind and I achieved it. And once I got there, I was like, okay, what happens here? That's what I said to myself. I'm making $160,000 a year, right? As a computer engineer, I'm like, okay, what's supposed to happen now? I've been told all my life, if I make six figures, I will have achieved something. And then I got there and I was like, well, uh, hmm, okay, I got a nice place, nice car, and this and that, and blah. Okay, what now? What? Nothing. What's up, Andre? Absolutely nothing. You know why? Because I was a debt slave, a six-figure earning debt slave. I was making $160,000 a year, but I was double that in debt. That means I'm a high paid debt slave. That's it. That's what now at the time I could feel that something was wrong. Okay. I just couldn't explain it. Right. I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Even though I'm making this much money, I live in a nice place. I got a Lexus, I got nice clothes, and I got a great job. How come I'm still feeling this way? That's what I was, but nobody was around to answer that question because I didn't even know what question to ask. I was just asking myself, why does this feel so just not right? And voila, I was right because capitalism is psychological. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you're in debt, you're just in debt. High paid debt slave. Debt slaves are doctors, lawyers, people, successful business owners. They're debt slaves. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you own your own business. You think you're if you're in debt, currency doesn't exist for you. Not business side, personal side, no side. And guess what else debt slaves can't do? You can't save money on taxes because you have no money to do that. That's an illusion to you, to you and for you. And that is your fault too. It's nobody else's fault. The tax system's not doing anything to you. They're big, bad, and evil. They're holding no, just yourself, just you. Now, I'm here today just kind of, I don't know, maybe ask some questions. Maybe you guys ask some questions of me. Maybe you want to know something about me. What? And it doesn't remember, it doesn't matter your age because math is timeless. Math doesn't care if you said 1 plus 1 equals 2 at age 5, or 1 plus 1 equals 2 at age 50, 1 plus 1 equals 2 at age 99. It doesn't matter your age, the person's age who's saying it's just 2. And it always will be 2. Now to hear, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. Here you are, listen to a person that's unlike anybody on the internet, on any social media app, the ones I know and the ones I don't know. You've never heard of a person like me speaking the way I do. And that's cool. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what's honestly, that's what's so wonderful about it. I could just, hey man, I could just say this out loud. You guys don't know what I'm saying. You have no idea what I'm talking about, not a clue, because you don't own yourself. You can't understand it if you don't own yourself. That's going to be the hard part. When you don't own yourself and you hearing a person like me speak, in order for you to ever own yourself, you have to realize you don't. Now that's going to be hard. That's going to be Your mind is gonna have to be really, really strong. I ain't gonna lie to you. And again, it's gonna count on your age. If you're young, you ain't really experienced too much in your life. You're not gonna really be. It won't affect you too bad. But if you're like 50, 40, uh, been at your job for 25 years, you got a FHA mortgage, you got student loan debt that's older than the mortgage. You've refinanced your house about 3 or 4 times. Uh, Each time you pay off your credit cards, every time you refinance your house, you pay off your cars and your credit cards, and then you'll go trade in the payoff car to upgrade to get another one with car payments, and then you'll start using the credit cards again. To wake up from that, you're gonna have to be strong. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to be strong, especially if you got student loan debt along with all that that's older than your children and your grandchildren. Mm. Yeah, you have to be strong for that. Or just you just gonna have to be strong, or you just gonna have to accept one or the other. Either way, you're gonna have to accept it. It really doesn't matter. But whoo, then you see the people with got student loan debt older than the children, the grandchildren. Then they go out and get a Parent Plus loan because they didn't have money for their kids' college, and then put the Parent Plus loan on top of the student loan they already have. Man, that's it. Then you just signed on the dotted line. Here's all the rest of my freedom until I'm dead. Here you go. Signed it away. Now, you hear me say that, it probably doesn't sound like anything to you, just like, hey, what do you mean? I'm free. Look at my house. Look at my car. I'm going on vacations every day. And I'm going on vacations every year. I'm going to Paris. I'm going to travel. Okay, whatever. Just always know you have to always come back to the plantation. When slaves go on vacation, they have to come back to the plantation. When you own yourself, when you go on vacation, you stay as long as you wish. Now, I never forget this. Okay, one time I went on vacation when I was when I was working as a computer engineer. I went to Mexico one time, and of course, I was just going the normal week, 7 days. The same bullshit that been doing for years, right? And I met this German couple, from Europe, and they call it holiday. Okay, they don't call it vacation; they call it holiday. And they said, "Hey, how long you here on holiday?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm here for a week." They looked at me they gave me this weird look like, "A week?" The way they looked at me, man, because I didn't really understand the look until now, okay? But they gave me this weird look like, "Damn, a week? You came all the way from the United States." Now I'm rereading, I'm looking at their look today, and this is what their look saying. "You came all the way from the United States of America for a 7-day vacation?" I said, but it did make me ask them. I'm like, "Well, how long are you guys here?" They said, "We're here for like a month." And I was like, "A month?" That blew my mind. I was like, "Wow." That's what I said to myself. Wow, a whole month. That's like normal over there. Okay, that's normal, right? But I was like, there is, and I thought to myself, I still remember this. I thought to myself, there's no way I won't have enough money to stay here a month. My work will be piled up. These are the stupid ass things that were going through my brain at that time. Yeah, I'll have so much work piled up. I'll have so much to do, and I won't be able to pay my bills and this and that. Oh my God. Oh, just to think about it today, man, you just don't know that. You guys always got to come back. Always got to come back. Just dead slaves on vacation, getting away from where that's why you guys be so relieved, because you want to get away from the place you hate, but you can't leave. You guys say it all the time. Oh my God, I got 3 more days. I got 2 more days. You want to get away so bad. You are counting down the days like you're getting out of prison. Looking at the clock every time 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock come rolling around. You're looking at the clock. Oh God, I got 2 more hours, and you can't do nothing about it. You got to stay there and just make up shit at work for 2 hours. Why do I know? Because that's what I did. I used to do that. Get out there, even though I'm supposed to be off at 5. I start walking out the door about 4:55. Just that means you don't want to be there. That's what that means. And trust me, the company don't want you there. You're just wasting their time too. They got so many debt slaves that will gladly fill your place and work the whole time. It's funny that you say 5.4% of Americans 100K plus, yet there's this narrative going around that that's not a lot of money these days. I know. I always try to tell people that, you guys follow these people giving you guys financial advice. All you have to do is say, hey, show me your personal credit report live on the air. See how many say yes. That's all you. Hey, listen, all you guys that are trying to invest in cryptocurrency, you don't know whose advice to get it from. I'm just telling you the answer. Okay, this is the answer. All you got to do is say, hey, can we see your personal credit report? Yeah, LJ on SMD, he went live. He actually made a video. Here's the link, and send them the link to my video and say, hey, he went on his credit report live for all of us to see. For you guys listening, what that means when you look at that video, that means I own myself. That means I own me. When you don't see no businesses on there, that means I own me. Okay? That's my passport to the financial world to say, hey, look, everybody, I own me. How many people you know do? Not many. Now all you got to do is ask each and every financial person, personal or business, it really doesn't matter. If they're fucking with your money, you better get all this uncomfortableness out and say, hey, you know what? You've been my finance person for years. I need to see your personal credit report. I do. They're going to look at you weird and be like, why you want to see that? I want to see that you're selling me advice. I want to see if you're using your own advice. That's all I want to see. But in actuality, you want to see if they own themselves. Because you're not going to know if they're in tax trouble. They got a few collections going on. You don't know that just because hey, look, listen, that is all you have to do. That's it. Anybody that comes to this channel, I'm just here to tell you, listen, I'm just here to tell you. All you got to do is go through my videos and type in Credit Karma, right? And you'll find my video. I guarantee you, listen, I guarantee you, you'll never find another person on the internet doing it. Go try to find somebody that's doing it. That will do that. Go try to find somebody. You won't. Okay? You won't. That is to show you that I own me. Okay? That's what that means. To achieve that takes a lot of sacrifice to do that. That takes a lot of sacrifice. That takes a lot of determination. That takes a lot of not listening to people, not listening to debt slaves, listen to or seeing what they got, or getting jealous. Hey, they got a house, they got a nice car. They must be doing. Hey, don't follow them. All you need to understand is this: payments mean didn't have money to buy. Payments, like whenever you hear the word payment, that means they didn't have money to buy. That's why they're making payments. So if you come across somebody has a nice car and you find out, you hear them saying they're making a car payment, that means they didn't have money to buy the car. Okay, you got it? Now, whether they know that or not is irrelevant. Okay, now I'm just kind of giving you guys an insight of what it would be like if you understood, once you own yourself, you understand capitalism is psychological. So when you hear a person mention a car payment, because you got to remember, debt slaves believe car payments are normal. Okay, they just think it's normal. Right? It doesn't matter what they think, but I'm just sharing with you. But as soon as you hear them make a payment, that tells you that they didn't have money to buy. Yet they're saying that they did. Hey, look what I bought. You making car payments? Yeah, you didn't buy anything. But you can't say that out loud, though. You can't. That part is say, hey, you didn't buy anything. You can't say that because they'll get mad. They'll be like, hey, what are you talking about? Yes, I did. You're just jealous. You're just hating, or whatever they start making up. Now, you young people, I really want you to get it. I do. Because once you understand this, large businesses will recognize what you know. Apple, like the big companies, Warren Buffett, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, you better believe You better believe they have to have a certain department there with people that understand that capitalism is psychological. I guarantee you, there's somewhere in there. Now, this won't be listed. Okay, it's not like, hey, do you know capitalism is psychological? Check here. No, it's not going to be like that. You walk in and you just say it like this: I understand that capitalism is psychological. That's all you got to say. Okay. But you're gonna have to say it to the right people so they'll understand what you mean, because there's very few people that know that. But if you even know to say it, you must know it. Okay, because if you're in debt, you will never know that capitalism is psychological. You can't. That would be against the laws of mathematics for you to know that. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, LJ, you're saying it out loud. It doesn't matter if I'm saying it out loud. You can't understand what I'm saying. Well, LJ, you're speaking English. I know that. You know that, but you still don't understand what I'm saying because you don't own yourself. Yes, you can. I remember working at a credit card, and many people did balance transfers, aka paying off one credit card with another credit card. Shaking my head. I was a debt slave back then, shaking my head, and that's so funny. I've done that several times. It is the weirdest. I remember thinking about doing that, and when I would pay off one credit card with another, I would actually get a sense of relief, like I really did. You know what I'm saying? It's just the weirdest. Like, even though I didn't really pay off anything, it felt like I did, but I didn't. And balance transfers were not free. They would always charge you like $200 or something like it. Just, oh my god, it was. And what's so crazy is this: they know, which is brilliant. Credit card companies, man, because they know debt slaves ain't got no money. I promise you this: credit card companies know that capitalism is psychological. I promise you that. Okay, they know, even though you say like you do a balance transfer to pay off one credit card with another, whatever, right? They know you're not going to close the one you just paid off. Guess what you're going to start doing? Using the one that you just paid off, thinking, oh, that's cool, because it's 0% for finance for a year, whatever. That's all. Like, that 0%, that 0% for a year, that's just bait. That's just like bait on a hook. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that because all you got to do is fuck up, not miss something, or whatever. Something's gonna happen. But they do know you're gonna start using that other credit card, because you're not gonna pay off one and then cut it up and close it. Not the score, but the report. What's up, Malika? Hello, hello. Any questions? Any questions at all? Maybe there's some questions that you don't know how to. Maybe you don't know how to ask that question. Maybe because I'm not here to make you feel bad about your debt, because the other debt slaves will say, oh man, LJ's over there debt shaming and all this stuff. I want you to understand something, okay? The people that say that to you are debt slaves. I'm not here to do anything. I'm just here to tell you that if you don't pay it off, if you don't pay the debt off, I'm not here to tell you if debt's bad or good or evil. I'm just here to tell you that if you don't pay the debt off, you'll never own yourself. Stop wrapping your feelings around debt. Who cares? Just pay it off. Because if you don't, this is all I want you to do. You can do this every week if you want to. Log in to your online credit report and just start looking at all your owners. Just look at them and just ask yourself, how long I want these businesses to own me? How long do I want them to own me? Until you figure out how to get that money back to them. They own you. Tickets, whatever. Oh, I ain't paying that effort. That ticket, those guys shouldn't have never gave me that. They ain't getting the red penny and this. Hey, you better stop all that. You better stop all that. I understand you, LJ. They charge you interest on your debt. I've seen all debt moves at credit card company. It's when you really understand how it when you understand how it really works, you got to really understand this, that first of all, no currency exists for debt slaves. Debt slaves finance taxes and interest. You know how they're always, like debt slaves are complaining about, oh, the high taxes, they're so high. Well, they're really high when you're financing them. And if you're in debt, you guys finance taxes and interest. Even if you use cash, you still now you let me give an example, okay? So you can get it. Say like you had $1,000 and you went to the store and you bought $1,000 on the mark TV. This is taxes included. It came up exactly to $1,000 and you had $1,000 cash and you paid and you walked out and said, whoa, I paid that in cash and now it's mine. Okay. But if you had $50,000 in student loan debt that you've been having for 10 years, right? And you had $1,000 cash in your hand. If you opened up the calculator, put in 1,000 minus 50,000, you have negative 49,000. The calculator says you don't have $1,000 in your hand. That's what the calculator says. You don't have no money to buy a TV, a candy bar, a pair of socks, underwear, nothing. So the calculator saying you most definitely cannot buy a TV. But if you go ahead and do it anyway, you just finance the TV, even though you use cash because you had no money to buy it. This is what I mean by currency. No currency exists for debt slaves. You could trade that. Hey, just say like somebody was going to trade you $1,000 worth of gold for a TV, right? Somebody had a TV they're giving away. Hey man, you got $1,000 worth of gold. I'll trade it for the TV. You said, okay, cool. I got $1,000 worth of gold. The calculator still doesn't change. The calculator says 1,000. No matter if you had cash, $1,000 worth of silver, $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency, the calculator still says you have negative $49,000, no matter what you have in your hand. What's up, Cosmic? Hey, SMD, did you go over the student forgiveness? No, I didn't really talk about that too much. Let me tell you guys why, okay? The student loan forgiveness, it's really sad to watch because people in student loan debt do not understand that the only way you're going to get out, listen, the only way you are getting out of student loan debt is that you have to work and you have to pay it off. You're going to have to create something. You got to do something, but you're going to have to pay it off. Okay. That is $1.7 trillion worth of student loan debt. That's a lot of debt slaves. That's like 45, what is it? 45, 46 million. And that's not even including what you guys don't see. What you guys don't see, I guarantee you in the background, I bet you people are signing up for online colleges like fucking hotcakes right now. All you got to do is pay attention to all the online colleges on TV, popping up on your ads. Hey, go here. We're accredited, this and that, and blah, 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 trying to get some of that student loan debt money, trying to get some of that student loan money. You can get your 4-year degree in 9 months right here at so and so university, and this is that's the one you're going for. Okay, cool. Wait till they come out with the real numbers. Because with this pandemic changing everything, people are panicking. Hey, the only way I'm gonna make more money, I gotta be smarter. I gotta get to college. Yes, okay, whatever. I think that recent student loan forgiveness, because some college did fraud. Of course they're gonna forgive that. That was fraud. But that was only like 560,000. people. That's what like that recent student loan forgiveness thing, they always throw up the big number, this many billion or whatever, right? And then you read deeper into it. Oh, it's because of this college, they wasn't doing things right, and it affects about 560,000 people. There's 45 million people in student loan debt, and they're only talking about 460,000. That's almost like 500,000. If they were smart, I don't know if they could do this or not, but if they were smart, they could look. I say this every single time, man. If they want, if they really want, hey, we're gonna say like this. They go, hey, we're gonna forgive $20,000 for everybody's student loan debt. We're gonna forgive it, and guess what? We're gonna send you the money directly so you can pay it yourself. We're gonna give you the 20,000 into your account, check, electronic transfer, whatever, right? And then you guys pay your student loan debt. Do you know how much money would flow into the economy? Because debt slaves ain't going to pay their student loan debt with that money. They're just not going to do it. But whose fault would it be? It would be their fault. Hey, you know what? We forgave 20,000. Look what you guys did with it. Because they knew you were going to do with that. They knew you were going to do that. But everybody looks good. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's legal, but I mean, it can't be illegal, right? I don't know. It's everything's saying, hey, we're going to give you 20,000. We'll give it directly to you, and then you pay your student loan off yourself. You take that 20, you take that 20,000 and put it towards your student loan debt. How many people you think, like, say, like somebody owes $100,000 in student loan debt, and you send them a $20,000 check? Do you think they're going to put all $20,000 onto that? No, they're not. They're not. Better chance of getting another stimulus check versus student loan forgiveness. Sure will. You better believe it. LJ, given where we are versus when the lockdown happened, what do you see now that surprises you as it relates to the way people are acting? Let me see what you're saying here. What kind of is weird to me is that, okay, debt slaves have no money, so they have to work. Okay, they have to work. They have to, right? But there's so many jobs available. I mean, a lot. So I think to myself, if they have no money, how are they paying their bills? I don't get it. That's just it's just throwing me off here for some reason, right? And then earlier I was thinking, look at all these housing complexes that are being built. I mean, they're going up they're going up fast. One day I'm driving by a lot of land, and next thing you know, the trees are gone and there's houses being built, right? And I think to myself, okay, debt slaves have no money to buy anything. That's why they use mortgages, right? So the banks are really building it for them. They got to be building this for themselves because they're going to own 99% of them because through mortgages. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, why would they do that if there's jobs available, nobody's working, who's going to be able to pay these mortgages if they don't have no jobs? This is what's running through my brain. This is the part I don't really get. There's something to me that there's something about to happen. There's got to, because how are they paying their bills if they're not working? I just don't get it. Like, here's another example. Like, watch this. Now, if Apple's about to have a sale, okay, I think they're about to soon. I believe they're bringing out their new phone like they do every year. Towards it's towards the end of, is it like September or something, October, whatever, right? If if there's nobody working, that means no money, but Apple sales will still go through the roof. Shit like this. See, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. A lot of apartment buildings being built now are owned by investment firms. Yeah, okay. They use the cheap money. They are buying up houses too. Yeah, see what I'm saying? They know. Okay. All right, so this is how I look at it, because I always look at it from a psychological capitalism perspective. Okay, they wouldn't be buying them if they didn't know something was about to happen. Because just if you're able to buy many houses, you obviously understand. You have an idea capitalism is psychological, because you wouldn't be doing it. And here's the banks, and just like you said, maybe these housing communities. Okay, I'm assuming these housing communities are being bought up by them, but there's still a lot of jobs available. That means if there's a lot of jobs, there's people not working. So I don't get it. Where are debt slaves getting money to survive? That's what I need to understand, because they have no money. How are they? Okay, here's another thing I'm noticing. On the road, you see a lot of new car plates, like paper tags, brand new cars. It's like, how, what? I don't get what. Now, trust me, I know they're financing the cars. That's not the point. Okay, it's not the point that, and I understand too that the majority of debt slaves are upside down in their finance car. So when they get in another car, they just keep rolling negative equity. And this is why they allowed, because at first I never understood why they allowed people to roll negative equity of a depreciating object into a new car loan. That shit didn't make any sense. But I realized if they didn't do that, the majority of people couldn't finance cars, because the majority of people who finance cars are upside down in their cars. So now it makes sense to me. But what are these people saying to get these new cars? If they ain't working, what are they putting on these loan applications as income? That's what I don't get. In some markets, 20-30% of apartment houses are built bought by RETs. I don't know, man. So, it's something. There's a piece missing. Something's not making any sense. I don't know why it's not there. What are you doing? I'm like, okay, I just want to go up to a desk lady and say, "How'd you make your car payment? You ain't work. You ain't working." The only thing I'm thinking is refinance houses. People refinance, get they say, "Hey, we can put this extra money as an attachment onto your bank account. Then you can get to that money anytime they use." So they feel like that is their money, because they believe that I know a lot of people are living off that too, but there's a lot of people that do not have access to that. How are they surviving? I don't get it. Yes, I did. I did see that. You heard about Apple getting into the pay later game? Yes, I have. Now, the reason why these companies are expanding these buy now pay, have you noticed that all the businesses are doing that? You know why? Because they understand that debt slaves have no money. So of course they're going to be attracted to, like, when you see like when I see an ad for a pay buy now pay later thing, I understand that that ad is not talking to me. I understand that, you know, people do that on a on a toaster, on a kitchen appliance, a microwave, buy now, pay later. You don't really understand what that means when you do that, like on a microwave. You people that, like, when you guys do stuff like that, you don't really understand it. You don't take a minute to stop and say, "How come I don't have the money to buy a microwave? How come I can't just buy my how come I cannot just buy new tires in cash for my car? How come I just can't walk in and say, 'Here's the money for the tires for my new car?'" Because I'm just going there for an example, because I see the prices of these tires. You guys are not, and the kind of tires I be seeing on cars and trucks, you guys are not paying cash for those type of tires. I guarantee, if you're financing a phone, you're most definitely not paying cash for tires. You're not. So if you financed your car, that's why you're financing your tires. The reason why you're financing your tires, because you financed your phone. Yes, you know why? You know why they're out of control, Cosmic? Because debt slaves are scared. That's when scammers thrive. They thrive on your financial ignorance, fear of taxes, fear of the IRS, fear of bill collectors, fear of the tax man coming after you, putting you in jail for not doing. They prey on the fear. That's what they do. That's how they scam you. When you own yourself, you'll see a scammer. You're like, oh, you're just a debt slave who's a scammer who's a debt slave. That's it. You're below a debt slave. Like when you're a scammer, this is like debt slaves, and then the scammers are below debt slaves. Financial scammers. Once you own yourself, you can see a financial scammer from like 10 miles away. They won't even see you. Because financial scammers are usually debt slaves too. They just know something that you guys don't know. They just use your fear of, scared of, I'm seeing more TikTok, YouTube shorts showing people to get cars on LLC. I know. I've been seeing that too. I'm not really on TikTok. TikTok's a little too noisy for me, but I've been seeing a lot of that. People trying to teach people how to get cars under LLCs and stuff like that. For what purpose? Business? People are doing it for personal. That's what they're doing. They're like, hey, if I do it this way, because my credit's so messed up, let me do it. Whoever's helping you, they're just like you. Debt slaves teaching other debt slaves how to do just shit all wrong and messed up. Stuff that'll get you in IRS and tax trouble. Half the people that's helping you do shit like that, they're in trouble. They're usually in trouble with the IRS with tax problems. But you don't know that because you've never seen their credit report. They're not going to tell you that. Hey, by the way, you know what? The IRS has been after me for like 5 years, so I gotta. They're not going to tell you that. But they're teaching you how to get a car under an LLC. You guys better stay away from people like that. I'm telling you. YouTube is bad too, man. I mean, not YouTube, but TikTok is horrible, man. I try to go bring SMD over to TikTok. Oh my god, that's about as noisy as Twitter. It's about as noisy as Twitter. That is just too much debt slave splaining talk. I mean, let me tell you guys something. You guys have no idea the kind of financial advice you guys get on TikTok and Twitter and man, oh man, it's so crazy. All I got to do is show you guys a shiny car, a wad of cash, some gold around their neck, or some diamonds in their mouth, and you guys just believe it. You guys just believe it. Just like look at that. They take a picture in a car in front of a pretty house, and you guys just believe it all. Like when you own yourself, and I see stuff like that, those are props. Okay, those are props. And whenever I see props, guess what? I don't pay attention to it anymore. I don't, because I know they're not talking to me. I know they're not talking to me when hey, why you talking about money in front of a Ferrari? Why are you doing that? The Ferrari ain't got nothing to do with what you're talking about. Why are you? Oh, you're not talking to me. Got it. Okay, click. They just show you guys stuff. They just tell you guys numbers. You guys don't ask for proof of nothing. You guys just watch the video and you guys just, hey man, look what I bought. I'm worth this much now, and I made this deal. I put this much down. I put the house was 200,000. I put down 100,000. In your mind, you're thinking, damn, that motherfucker got money. No, he just said that. He or she, it doesn't matter. They're just saying that. Do you understand that? They're just saying that. They're just saying whatever you want to hear to make you believe that they did that. That's it. It's just business. It's nothing. Hey, if whatever they're doing is legal, I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what they're selling you. I don't care. If you believe you can invest while having student loan debt, that's your problem. Okay? I can only imagine how many people in student loan debt own cryptocurrency. Oh yeah, man, I'm all into cryptocurrency. You got student loan debt? Yeah, okay. Now I see why you're into cryptocurrency, because you got student loan debt. What does that mean? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Your money is not the true capital. Your labor is. People give up 30 to or 40 years of their life for one or two purchases. I know. When I hear now, that's a very sensitive subject. Like, I don't really say anything, but when I hear somebody say they've been at a job for like 40 years, I just be like, damn, 40 years of going to the same place 5 days a week, 8+ hours a day for 40 years. Saturday and Sundays are your only days off, maybe. Years of, even though you get 2 weeks vacation, you break them up in days, take a day here, take an extra day there. Never take the whole 2 weeks ever. And even if you ask most jobs, hey, can I just take off my whole 2 weeks? They'd be like, nope. You go and earn your hey, it takes you a year to earn 2 weeks vacation, but they get to dictate the days you get to take, the days you want to use them. What the fuck are they good for then? Can I get approved to use my vacation days on the? Oh no, that's a bad time for us. So, what's up, Robert?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
Hey, nice seeing you too, man. Welcome. What's going on?
Yeah, I did the 401k max, right?
Oh, the max.
Yes.
Okay.
And my the person who I was this is doing my orientation, and I set up for the 401k max. He was like, you have to pay bills, right? I was like, yes. He gave me the most strangest look I have ever seen. He was
Who,
like,
the HR person?
yes.
Oh, okay. So when you did it, he get, like, when you maxed it out, he was like, that's why he said you have to pay bills?
Yes.
Wow. And what happened when you said, I know that? What'd he say? What'd he do or say?
He was like, well, how, he was like explaining, like, can you cover, like, gases prices are high. He was like, food went up, and like he went to this spiel. It's like he wanted me to do, because it takes a year. He told me it takes a full year like for the company to match your 401k. I was like, okay. I just want the max. Like, give me what I want, sir.
You know what it is? This is what it really is. He's telling you about himself without knowing
Yes.
it, without knowing he is.
And during orientation, he told everybody in the group that I was in that he has student loans. Him and his wife.
He told everybody in the group?
Yes, he did.
Okay. All right.
So I asked him, well, how did you get that house?
Okay.
And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I went and got a mortgage. I was like, ooh. I just kept quiet out there. I was like, all right, let me shut up.
Yeah,
Let me shut my ass up.
Because you know it's an FHA mortgage too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an FHA mortgage.
Yeah, but you was also right. Like these people that I saw where I work at, I had a dude that had like a badge price that he been working at the same place for 25 years. I just felt demoralized when I saw that. I was like, 25 years. I felt bad when I was saying to people I worked at Amazon for 7 years.
Right. Well,
Like,
you gotta remember, people wear that like a badge of honor. Like, oh, I've been here for 30 years. It's like, Okay, what's your reason for saying that?
Yeah, that's why I've been wanting to know. I was like, I can't do that. I now everything you've been saying to me, it's like been hitting me extra harder. Like how you said you're gonna start to experiencing it.
Yeah,
Man, I'm experiencing it 10 times.
yeah. And your mind got
It's
to
like
be strong. How's your mind feeling on accepting it? How's that doing?
I can tell you straight up, some days it's a struggle.
Mm,
It
mm.
really is. Like some days I'll be feeling good and happy, but when I enter that workplace, when I hear them talk, I just be like, oh my God, why am I here? It's like,
Right, right, right. That's got to be tough because I knew that's why I had to quit because I was feeling exactly that. I was just like, I can't be here. I just can't be here.
yeah, that part when you said you need counseling once you're free, yeah, take that. People need to understand that is very important because you can and will get depressed very easily.
Yeah,
Like you said, you
yeah,
gotta have a strong mind for this.
yeah. Because because you'll start feeling like, of course, what it is you're coming out of the debt matrix. It's just withdrawals from the debt matrix. Like I've been wasting all my time. Where am I supposed to be? I could be somewhere right now if I did. You're gonna go through all these phases, right? It's just part of the process.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel right now. It's like a detoxing process. Like I
Yeah,
just feel it.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, listening to people at work, it's just got to be just like, oh my God, that's driving me crazy.
Yes, that's the scary part. It's just like when you hear them talk about how they got the cars, how they be showing up work in these realms. I just be looking. I be like, yeah, it's like an indication of who to avoid because you don't want to like get into no debate with them. So
Right.
it's just like you isolated.
And
It's like you
like I.
feel like
Well, no,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was listening.
No, I mean, like I telling the members only, I'm going through my own thing. Like to have such a gift, right? I should be, and it's like it's not even a pride thing. It's like I should be known all over the United States of America by now. you know,
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
you really should.
But I know it's not supposed to be that way. At the same time, I know it's not supposed to be that way. But I'm in that area right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and now one more thing before I ain't gonna keep you too long. Like you know how you were saying like how they building all these apartments and stuff.
Hmm.
You notice they building all these casinos as well. In the state of Virginia, they building a lot of casinos in like a lot of small black cities, like in Petersburg and
Oh, really?
in Portsmouth. Yeah, they building a lot of casinos.
Mm. Mm.
Like Rosie's and Melotti, man, they are just popping up all over lately, especially in the state of Virginia. That's another thing you gotta keep an eye on. Like, wait a minute, how y'all going to casinos when you broke?
Yeah, I don't think
But they,
South Carolina. I don't know about the Indian. I don't know about if they got Indian reservation with casinos on them somewhere, but I don't think South Carolina has casinos. At least I haven't seen any.
man,
Not sure on that.
I seen two of them. They built a casino right beside a campus in Portsmouth.
Are they Indian casinos or are they like
No, no,
city?
they like no, they independent casinos,
Oh, okay. Wow.
private owned
They're about
casinos. They building them up like reeds.
wow. Wow. They just
So that's an
I don't know what's coming, man. I just don't something's coming. Something.
yeah.
I
So
just
you
don't know
like
what it could be. I just do not because whatever it is, it has to be big.
that's what I'm thinking too, because I didn't notice it till when I went to pick up my son and I looked off to the right when I was like driving down Taiwan. I was like, wait a minute, they built it, they got this big casino right beside the community college campus. I'm like, what's going on here?
Right next to a college campus?
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow.
Right, it's literally right beside the walkway of the
How
Tidewater
in the
Community.
world did that even get approved?
Some in the state of Virginia. They was like they built it.
Oh my God. How does something like that even get approved? That's about money right there. That's gonna be so much money. You know how many of those college kids gonna be going over there thinking hey man, I'm gonna go get some of my tuition money over here. I'm gonna get that.
Financial aid refunds. Oh yes.
Take some of that. They're gonna take some of that student loan money, take it over to the casino, and then they're gonna start gambling it.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
And then the mall when I'm near, they put in an apartment literally inside the mall.
You know what? You know what's so crazy? I'm glad you brought that up because that's what they did here. Right next to the mall, they built apartment buildings right next to the mall down here. Now, I've never seen that before, right? So close to a mall. And they built several of them.
Exactly what they proposing now. They're going to build like a 200-room apartment. It's going to be the mall, like literally connected to it.
God damn.
Something's big going on. You're right.
Oh, man. What's up, Mel? What's going on, sir?
Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? What's up, Robert? Had to get
Hello,
on
how
here
you doing?
with the other amigos.
What's happening?
Congratulations on the new job, brother.
Thank you.
You wield it like a sword, like a
Yes,
sword of
sir.
the Jedi.
Yep,
Sounds
use it like
you're
a
doing
tool.
well. You're maxing out that 401k as you should.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you can, I hope you look into the HSAs also.
Oh, I did that as well. Absolutely.
Wonderful, because I see in the news they're saying that the rich people are getting over with the HSAs. It's like a regressive tax on the poor people. But
they always think that.
Right, but the poor people are the people that are in debt and cannot put that extra money in the HSAs.
Nope. They have no money. They have no money to do it. So it doesn't matter.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy, man. And like I was saying, people will make these purchases, like you said, with the student loans and all that, and they will be older than their children,
Mm-hmm.
and they will carry them around, and it will be a burden, and that's just not how you want to live, man. You want to be free, but I mean, you coined it perfectly, debt slaves, man. People will give up their freedom for the rest of their life, man.
It's so crazy. It has to be that way, though, too. It has to be.
Yeah.
And that's hard for us to accept that. Like people, like we know, so we have to accept that the majority must believe that. You have to accept that.
Right. Yeah. I've had to come to the realization. I thank you for that because it was frustrating to me.
Right. Yep.
Just like my man Robert said, seems like you need counseling sometimes,
Yeah. That's why I have people. That's why I have that set up. I have a few people each month that call me. We talk and we go through the things because I have the answers that they're looking for. Right. I help them along. This is what you're going to go through. Sometimes you're going to feel like this, and this is how you get over it, and et cetera, et cetera. Because you can't really go nowhere to get those kind of answers.
Absolutely, like you said, there's no one like you out there. No one. No one.
And that's why
I always say
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
That's why I always say that you're the high value man. You don't gotta be high value with money.
That, man. Huh?
You always work from the very beginning.
I appreciate that, man. And like I always tell you guys, when this grows, it's going SMD counselors are going to be needed. You know how much an SMD counselor's job will be worth? You know what I'm saying? When this grows, you know how much money you guys will be able to make just being SMD counselors? Because anybody can't have that job. You have to own yourself to be able to even have that type of job.
And even when you own yourself, the money won't even matter. It's just the joy of pulling somebody else across that threshold. To me, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Seeing someone break those shackles.
Yeah.
And just living their life and living their purpose. Not being a slave.
That is such a wonderful feeling. Like each time I would help each one of you guys get through it, experience that. Now you guys really understand how wonderful that feels for me to bring you guys across that threshold and be like, see, look, now turn around. Now turn around and look. That's what you're leaving. You're like, damn. Damn, I was in that. Yep, you sure were. Now turn around this way. Isn't this beautiful? It's roomy. You can run around. Nobody's gonna bother you. Nobody's gonna step on. Nobody's gonna steal your stuff. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's so peaceful, man. It's just you say, like, you know, you wouldn't want to be a actor or a star. You just want the peace of just walking through the park and just being free. You know what I'm saying? Just
yeah.
feeding the ducks or whatever, man. You know, just looking at people watch. That's priceless, man.
You
But when
breaking
you're
up bad,
bound
man.
by,
You breaking
I'm
up
breaking
bad.
up.
Yeah. I don't know if you're moving.
Okay,
No, you don't look
well,
like
okay.
you're moving. Okay, you back.
No,
You
I'm
look
not.
like you back. You look like you back.
No, but I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I don't want to stop the show. I'm just glad to hear my man Robert is doing his thing, doing well, and you just continue the good work that you do, brother LJ,
Appreciate it, man.
because it is priceless, man.
Yeah, and as you can see, I love what I do, man, and it's gonna continue to. I'm gonna continue to bring, and with you guys' help, man, you know, because you gotta remember, this is gonna be people gonna be crossing over the threshold of all ages. So
Right.
since S&B family, all ages, different colors, man, woman, we could say, oh, you need to speak to so and so because he or she is right there, and then connect. Imagine connecting with an S&D counselor of the same age, you know, color, whatever that happens, whatever matches up the best will work the best, you know.
But I'll let you brothers go now. Have a good weekend, man.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah, this is beautiful, man.
Yes,
I just
indeed.
love hearing your stories too. Like I love seeing you experience, like when you did the max out the 401k. Tell you guys my experience first, and then when you're free and you go do it, you get the same experience and understand what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Because I had a friend. She does Instacart, and she was like saying how where she owes, where she showed me her like all the stuff that she owed, right? And she had 6 credit cards, like over $10,000 in the hole. And I was like, oh, I see why you're doing Instacart. But I didn't say much. Hello?
I'm sorry, I broke up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry. So you said Instacart?
Yeah, I had a friend that works for Instacart.
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling me like she trying to pay off her credit cards and she owed like a lot of money on them.
Mm-hmm.
She had like 4 credit cards. And
Ooh.
all I could say was,
Did she tell you she had 4 credit cards?
She showed me.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That's proof enough.
Yeah. Like one was like 5,000. It was just insane.
She was telling you the balances?
Yeah. I used to work with her at Amazon a long time ago.
God
I just recently met her. Yeah.
That's crazy that they tell you the balances of each of them. That's crazy.
Oh, death slaves would tell you a whole bunch of stuff if you let them talk.
Wow. So she had about what, 20,000 between the 4 or something like that?
Correct. Yes.
Wow. $20,000 in credit card debt, all different interest rates.
Yep.
And it was so crazy is that they just think of the money that the credit card companies, they borrow the money, add their interest, and then they put it together with them and then compound it. And then the next month they do the same off of that's just the way it's made. It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It's just unbelievable when they be telling these stories, man. Just like at the job, they be telling stories about their loans, their mortgages, how much they got to repair the roof, and they got it. Oh, and that's another thing. They'll use the equity in their house. I'm using quotation marks to do a roof repair.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how can you do that?
Yep. They borrowed more money from the bank to repair the bank's roof. And they paid for it. And they paying for it too.
My grandmother did that years ago before she had intestinal cancer. A company came by her house, said, yeah, your house is leaning to the side. So he did his estimates and told her the price. I think it was like $64,000.
Mm.
She went to the equity into her house to the house to pay
Mm.
the house off, but she owed like this is an old house, but she owed like $94,000 on the house. But I'm like, how did you pay for that?
Right.
And at the bankruptcy court, she was like, I didn't.
She said,
Because
I
she
did.
filed,
Oh, and she filed bankruptcy. She said, I did.
yeah, she filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy because her cancer treatment was over $1 million.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, bankruptcy, Chapter 7, like you said, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is your friend.
That is your friend. That is your friend. But people don't really, they think you're a loser if you file chapter. Well, debt slaves, that's why, honestly, that's why I think they invented Chapter 13.
Mm-hmm.
So debt slaves can file bankruptcy, but still keep the stuff that got them into bankruptcy.
Yeah, no, man, no.
Because they still want to
It's-
keep it. And I've seen people get filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, get it, and then go out and finance another car because other payments are lower. So they'll go out and finance a new car. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I had a coworker that did that. She had for her car, she had to pay 24% interest on the car.
Oh my God. Oh my God. 24% interest.
Showed me the paperwork and everything when she first got the car. It was a Chevy Equinox. I never forget it. When I went to work, she showed me the paper. I looked in. It was 24.999% interest, and her payments was like $200 a month. But because she filed bankruptcy, they just did it on the back end, like you said.
Mm.
Mm.
It's horrible to watch. I ain't gonna lie. But it's just business. It's
Yeah.
just because it's like what you see how the credit card companies do it. They take the money, add their interest, put it together, compound it with a new interest, take that, compound it. So it's called compound interest. Well, debt slaves, they do the same, but negatively.
Yeah.
They'll trade in a car with negative interest, roll the negative interest into the new car loan, take the new car loan plus tax with the negative interest in there, finance the whole thing with interest, do the same thing over and over. Like the majority of people, they can't even get out. They can't even get out of cars, but they're so upside down. They can't even get out because they would have to pay money to get out.
Yeah, they underwater with their car. Yeah, absolutely.
And like I said before, I just was like, why would they allow that? Because if they didn't allow negative equity to be rolled into new car loans, 95% of people wouldn't even be able to finance a car because the majority of people are upside down.
Yep.
They would lose money if they didn't allow that.
Yes, they would. They would lose a lot of money.
Because just think about it. All the big car lots would close. Car manufacturers, they might as well stop making cars because nobody be able to finance them because they have to pay their way out. And debt slaves ain't got no money.
Yep.
Stuck.
Just like with a Tesla, the battery costs more than a car.
Right. Well, that's what they did with the phones now. You notice that? Phones?
Yeah.
Hey, bring your old phone in and we'll give you a $500 credit. We don't care what condition it is. Just bring it in so we can sign you up to be on a 2-year paying on a phone plan. That's what we're going to
do. No, man. No, I need to pay that. I paid my iPhone, the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I paid for that straight out.
Good. You got a factory unlocked one?
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool.
I ain't see no company logos.
That's what I'm talking about.
I ain't see no on the top like who the carrier was.
Right. Hell no, none of that. No. It's like this. I would have never known that if I stayed in the debt matrix financing phones. Like when that phone boot up and it says T-Mobile, guess what? T-Mobile dictates all the features on that phone. I did not know that. I was like, whoa. Same thing with AT&T, same thing. That's why they all had different model numbers. That's why. So you'll know which one you're going to get the image on.
Yep. IMEI numbers, different chips you got put in the side of the phone.
Yeah.
With their T-Mobile, like you got the chip with the T-Mobile brand you got put in the side of the phone. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. I was like, I remember that recent 3G thing shut down. It's like, okay, but if you have this model of Note 8, this model, you should still be working. But my Note 8 stopped working. I was like, why is my phone not working? Because it was a Verizon branded phone who blocked out the Wi-Fi talking feature, and it blocked it out, so I couldn't use it.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I'll make sure I always get factory unlocked phones from here on out.
Yes, sir. I still got my iPhone 7 unlocked, paid in full. It still works like a charm.
Oh, what's up, Cosmic?
Hey, stranger. I'm just
I know.
decided to
How are
swing by
you?
and say
Hey.
hello and see what you up to. Man, I'm doing awesome, but I can't. But I have to, when I go out of my house, I have to put on the sad face so people won't look at me strange, you know. But life is good.
Good. That's good to hear. Because
But
you
I
just
have
had
to
a
put on
birthday,
my
didn't you?
sad face.
You just have a
People
birthday?
won't give me that weird look. Yeah, I had a birthday. I'm about to go on the road for a few weeks, and do a tour of the Southeast. So I just wanted to pop in since I saw a live stream, and I just want to say congratulations, Robert, on your max. I've been maxing out my 401k for like 15 years.
Oh,
So you're
God.
in
Don't
rare
rub it
air.
in, Cosmic. Don't rub it in.
No, I'm laughing because the HR person over here, I mean, you can tell that HR person don't get those type of requests. So I'm like, Robert's in rare air.
Correct. Yeah.
You're just gonna have to learn to deal with the debt slaves. Like, let them talk. Just put on a sad face. Don't look too happy. Is
Don't
the
look too
tip
happy.
that I have for you. And LJ, I had this pop up. You know how they say America is the home of the free and brave. So I mean, it's kind of like alternative versions of
Right.
America, right?
Right.
And it
I
looks
say it's
like
different
there's
dimensions.
different
Different
versions.
dimensions.
Yeah, different dimensions. So there's America of the debt slaves, and it's a whole different situation. And you have like different flavors. You may be on the same street, maybe in the same apartment complex, right?
Right.
But
Right.
where you are mentally is going to dictate the quality of your life. And that just popped in my head. I just thought of that today.
It is so true. It is so true.
You
I
know?
try to tell people it's a different language. It's a whole different language. How you speak, especially when you talk about money, it's a whole different language.
And
But you know,
sometimes when
I
you
remember
break
telling
those
Robert that
chains, you're
thing.
just gonna have to leave that land on love.
Yeah, it's gonna. You know,
Go
growing up
ahead.
like because your dad taught you, so you didn't never live in the debt matrix, really, right? But when you was raised in it, it is really like coming off of drugs psychologically. You know, you really. It was a struggle. It took a lot of work to come out of that for me.
Man,
Mentally.
I can imagine. I can imagine. And I wanted to share. I got the best phone call. One of my friends paid off her mortgage.
Oh wow!
So we
Nice.
definitely had to go out and do a toast and celebrate. So don't be discouraged, LJ. There's people breaking free. It may not be as obvious as the people whining over student loans. You know, they're on the same spectrum. There are people that's really doing what you preach, working to get out of debt.
Yeah. No, I know
So
they are.
keep
You
up
know,
the good work.
I
We
appreciate it.
appreciate it, you know.
Yeah. No, I do.
So
I can't
I'm
stop
gonna
if I
hop off
want
the
it. I
chat,
just
but
go ahead.
and Rob, I'll just say congratulations. Now the HR person won't tell you that, but congratulations and good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
See ya.
All right. Thanks,
Have a good one.
Cosmic.
Oh,
I'm so, and
Yeah, I'm
honestly,
gonna go
Robert,
ahead and
I'm glad you were
I'm
able
sorry.
to experience that through the HR person. So when you help somebody, you will now be able to tell them when they do it, okay, when your HR person sees you do the XYZ is going to happen.
They're gonna try to discourage you from not doing it. They need that 4% match because I realized that you're the 401k when you do the company match.
Right.
Now you
That's
know. Now you
exactly
say you
right.
got just like how all those people lost that money investing into that latest Bitcoin that they made out of nowhere called Luma or something. I was like, oh, you got Bitcoined, like you said.
You got Bitcoin. No, you're the Bitcoin. You are the coin. You lost, you know?
Yeah, people. They
Nah,
said
man.
people lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was like, yeah, you got Bitcoin.
Yeah. Because you are
Damn.
the coin.
Yes, you are. Well, I
All
ain't
right,
gonna
sir.
hold you up.
All right, I'm gonna
Have a
wrap this
good.
up anyway, man. I'm getting tired. So yeah, I appreciate it, man, Robert. Thank you for sharing your stories.
No problem. Have a good weekend and stay safe.
All right, you too, sir.
Bye bye.
Yeah, like I said, I love it, man. I love what I do. Just like Mel was saying earlier, man, just the feeling of bringing people over the threshold, even the ones I don't speak to, even the ones that follow me. You know, I'm sure I've helped a lot of people, and they've never said a comment or a word to me. They just have just listened to my words and just have done it. Congratulations to you, especially if you're young parents and you've crossed over and your kids are still young, like 5, 6. You get to change their lives forever. I want you guys to understand the position that you're in. Like, say, like, put it this way. I'm gonna give you here's a scenario. Say, like, you are a divorced woman or a man, it doesn't matter, and you are in custody battles and all this other stuff with over the kids. Of just and the majority of it just be complete fucking nonsense just because you're mad at each other, right? But once you own yourself, those things, because you'll realize if because you're wasting money on nonsense with lawyers, time in court fees, all this other stuff. Once you own yourself, you're going to realize if you're actually doing nonsense within the fight for the just over petty stupid nonsense, you're going to court because uh he forgot to put Johnny's socks into the bag, and so you guys went to court for it. That costs money. And then once you realize you own yourself and you know how much time in your life it took to earn that money to give away to a lawyer over some socks and because so and so wouldn't bring the clothes back or something, whatever, you're gonna put a stop to that. You're gonna put your ego in the closet and say, "Yeah, ego, you are costing me way too much money, which is costing the time of my life. I can't do any of that." That comes to a stop. Because like the majority of family court is mainly just bullshit. Just people, just two parents that didn't like each other and want to fight over the kids just because. It just makes absolutely, well, it has to be a system in place for people like that to take full advantage of you for your just doing not thinking like an adult and misbehaving. So they might as well make some money off of you. So they put you in court and then hopefully you get a lawyer, but 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get a lawyer that's probably deep in debt, deep in student loan debt, and the majority of them just go, hey, we're gonna charge you for everything. The minute it's a phone call, a page, a text. My texts are $10 each. It's just ridiculous, stupid prices. You're gonna put a stop to all that. Because I remember saying to myself when I was a debt slave in family court, I remember saying to myself, I'm not supposed to be here. I used to say that to myself all the time. While I'm standing with my lawyer next to me and we're looking at the judge, you just stand there and shut up anyway while the lawyer does all the talking. They do all the talking and you just shut up and stand there. Hey, I'm just the payer. I'm just here to pay. That's it. Okay, what'd the judge say? And they translated back to you. I used to go, I'm not even supposed to be here. I used to say that to myself, but I did. I caused myself to be there. If I would have known what I knew today, I would have never been there. I would have figured something different out. It would have been way different. I mean, I would have still had to do something legally, put something in place, but it would have never been I would have been in court because so and so didn't pay for a dentist, his part of the dentist bill. So now I'm back in court because she didn't pay for her. No, I'll add up and say, okay, how much is it going to cost me to get a lawyer instead of just paying? Say like the bill was $100, I was supposed to pay 50, and or she's supposed to pay 50 and she didn't, because this happened to me all the time. I remember, and this is how I thought to myself. I'm either going to pay a lawyer $300 an hour because I want her to pay this $50 dentist bill, or just pay the $50 and be done with it and just shut up, put my ego in my pocket and just pay it. I did that many times because I was supposed to pay 70%. She was supposed to pay 30. I'm like, hey, yeah, just send me the money. She go, F you. I ain't paying nothing. I was like, I can't do nothing about that. Let me go ahead and pay it. Because I sure ain't paying a lawyer to go back and get 30% of a bit. No, I'm not doing that. Take time off work just to prove a point. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yes, family court definitely sucks. I hate seeing families fight over their hurt feelings over the relationship that didn't work. Exactly. But even with the court system, the family court system in place, I get why it's there. And I think people forget that lawyers are people, judges are people. They're still people. Okay, it doesn't matter. There are judges that are debt slaves. Did you guys know that? Judges are debt slaves too. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're a judge. It don't matter what you think they make. It doesn't matter. They're still debt slaves too. They're still regular people. They have feelings. They get divorces. They have custody battles. They get in arguments with their spouses at home, just like you. And what if the judge what if the judge leaves the house and just had an argument with his wife or something or found out a judge found out that their spouse just had an affair, and then they got to go to work. I feel sorry for you on that day. I do, especially if you're walked in and maybe you cheated or something. Who knows? Hey, listen. Yeah, I know. We know what the judge is supposed to do and not to do, but the judge is still a human being. And you just happen to be walked in on the family court day that you're here because you cheated or something. Who knows? That sounds like it's going to be pretty much your ass. Of course, they can't show that to you. Of course, they're just gonna be thinking it in their minds. By owning yourself, the chances of you putting yourself in that situation to where a family court judge has to decide your life financially and kids wise and stuff, the chances of that happening are drastically reduced. And before I leave, I just want to make sure, especially the young people reaching 30, getting close to 30, thinking they're supposed to have some kids, a family, a white picket fence, and a dog, and all this other stuff. I want you to understand something. If you don't want to end up in family court, come see me. I'll teach you how to own yourself, and then you won't have to worry about divorce statistics and family court problems and every other weekend and paying child support and all that stupid nonsense. Those chances of you ever being wrapped up in that nonsense are slim to none. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Much appreciated, as always. You guys have a wonderful evening. Later.